Have you ever worked on a project that you cared a lot about, and then in the home stretch of creating it, everything just seems to fall apart? It's terrifying. But that's the story that we're going to tell you today. My name is Matthew Bogart.
And I'm Jesse Holden.
This is the third and the last part in a video series. It's kind of a director's commentary for our graphic novel, Incredible Doom Volume 1. We're talking about the last chapter of the book and how the whole project very nearly blew up while we were creating it. A brief recap. In previous videos, we talked about how this book was originally published as a series of meticulously produced handmade little mini comics and was designed to potentially be the last comic I might ever make. Before I knew this project was going to be as successful as it turned out to be, I was questioning how much time I was spending on creating comics, because I'd spent several years trying to make them my career with very little success. And so as I was thinking about potentially setting comics aside, I decided I would make one more project and I would design it to include everything I'd ever wanted to try creatively in comics, but had never gotten around to. And one of the things on the top of that list was to create a series of mini comics that all matched each other and that could all slide into a meticulously handmade slipcase. Progress on this project had been going great. We'd been working on it for a couple of years and we'd put out 5 issues that we were really proud of. And we thought we'd maybe have 2 or 3 more issues before we'd collect what we'd made into this slipcase. We had drawn most of issue number 6 when we got some bad news. The printer that we'd been working with, who we loved, Eberhardt Press, had lost the lease on their building and looked like might be going out of business. Suddenly, we were scrambling to find any other printer, but it turned out that Eberhardt, as amazing as they were, had been cutting us such a fantastic deal that we couldn't find anyone else who could match it. Every other printer that we could find, even the ones that came closest to matching Eberhardt's price, would have to do it by printing the comics at a different size, using a different technique, on a different paper, which meant that this issue and the subsequent issues wouldn't match the rest of them and couldn't fit into a slipcase. It turned out we might get one more issue. So I looked at what we'd drawn for issue 6, and I came up with a way that we could make that issue feel like the end of a season. So, for those of you who haven't read the book, and you should read the book, in this chapter, originally, Allison was going to try to get chicken nuggets, lose her nerve, and then eventually figure out a way to get the chicken nuggets. That was it. That was all that was going to happen. And then next issue, the two of them might hide out somewhere, and then the issue after that, we'd cut back to Evol House, and that's where the stories would collide. But when suddenly we needed to wrap things up, I wrote a new opening to this chapter, where Allison is remembering this time where she sabotaged her dad's magic show and he took her in the backyard and smashed her stereo. And then added a new epilogue where Allison is remembering this moment and remembers her dad saying, "Who would ever take you in if you were to ever leave this house?" And as an answer to that, we see Evol House. And that was it. It came earlier than expected, but that was the end of season 1. And it turned out this was great. After much trial and error, and I wrote about all that on my blog if you're interested in it, we eventually made the slipcase. We put together an issue number 0, made up of a bunch of different stories that we'd originally released just to Patreon backers. And in 1 month, we released issue number 6, the season finale for Incredible Doom, issue number 0, the bonus stories book, and the slipcase. Instead of being this catastrophe, it actually ended up being this big event. And the slipcase was great. We made a little window that we cut out of the box so that you could choose which cover you wanted to see through the window. We made a little insert that you could choose 3 new images that we created that you could show through the window. It was everything that I had on my bucket list of things I wanted to try for comics before stopping. And it turned out that this was only the beginning. That's as good as it's gonna get for today.